What's going on, people? Welcome to the LV Live show. I am LV Live. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Once again, I want to thank all the new subscribers for coming by to my channel, man. It is truly, truly appreciated. Great win for the boys last night, late night in the Valley of the Suns by beating the Phoenix Suns 138 to 122. The Big Cat, Karl Anthony Towns, 34 points, 10 rebounds. Jalen Brunson, 36 points and 10 assists. 70 points between them, man. They are the only duo in the NBA this year to both score over 30 points and have 10 assists or 10 rebounds, basically having a double-double. Great win for them boys. Great win for them boys. Listen, the Knicks have scored over 30 points. Over 30 points, back-to-back games, first time since 1988, man. 1988, I was a young pup, man. That's when I was rocking around with, triple fat gooses on and leather bombers. That was my era, right? I was young pup back then. But that's how far back this goes, right? So that was great to see. Also, too, 30 assists in 3 straight games for the first time since 1994. Listen, great game altogether. Coach, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live tonight. And listen, at the opening of the game, they took charge right away, going 8 for 8 from the field. Of course, this was all spearheaded by Jalen Brunson, right? The captain. Listen, I thought he was going to go nuclear. I don't know about you guys, but I thought he was going to go nuclear and just pretty much have a repeat performance of what he did last year in the Valley of the Suns. That's how well he was playing. That's how well he was shooting the rock. I think a lot of it had to do because he's seen across them. They had a local kid, Ryan Dungard, a rookie. Local kid. He went to Lou High out there in Long Island Lutheran, great school. Of course, went to Virginia. I thought the Knicks were going to draft him, but we didn't. So Brunson went to work. He went to work. And after that, the Knicks never looked back. 6 players in double figures, man. Listen, this offense is rolling. This is scary. This is really, really scary. But I'm not going to say scary in a sense like that because a lot of people felt that this was a possibility what the Knicks could be. A lot of people felt that when they made this deal. Now, I'll be honest, initially, LV has reported I did not like the deal. But once I took a step back and I kind of thought about what this can be offensively, I did see it. I saw the vision. I said, okay, I see exactly why Leon and those boys want Big Cat. I saw it. And I said, okay, if he comes here and if it's exactly what we're seeing right now, dangerous. I'm going to get to the ratings a little later. I have that kind of pulled up for you guys. So I'm going to pull it up to show you guys. But yeah, man, listen, offensively, best in the league, man. Best in the league, top to bottom. People talk about the Cavs. I think the Cavs are going to fall off, man. I don't think – I'm not saying it's a fluke. I'm not saying they're not going to be a good team, but I don't know if them offensively can sustain that, right? I don't know if they can. I believe the Knicks can. Right? So altogether, you got to love what you see. This is exactly what they knew when they went out and they made a decision to make this deal. And offensively, this is exactly what pretty much they're showing. And a lot of people in the league knew the same thing. They knew it. That's why they have the Knicks so high as far as possibly winning the championship or winning the East. They had them right there neck and neck. Of course, a lot of people are saying automatically they don't look as good as Boston. They don't look as good as Cleveland, all these things. Because of the defense, I think the defense will come around. But one thing that I don't think is going to stop is this offense. Right? So I'd rather put up a whole bunch of points and work on certain things defensively than not be able to score the ball at all, especially in this league. And so with us being one of the top teams offensively, we can work on our defense, especially when Big Mitch comes back. Big task. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live tonight. Big one for the boys, 138 to 132. Jalen Brunson, 36 big points, man. Let's take a look at the highlights, man. Listen. Great game. You have to love what you saw. You have to, altogether. And I thought that the most important thing during this 4-game stretch, right, and how well the Knicks are playing, the beauty of all of this is that you're starting to see, like, now they're starting to be really, really cohesive as a unit. And it was going to take time. I'm going to play a clip for you later, and one of the players is going to break down. Like, it's going to take time. Cat got here kind of late. I said this on one of my other shows. So it was going to take time. They're not really practicing like that, guys, like what you think. They're not. In between these days, now they might get a practice, here and there. But when they're traveling like this, especially during the season, one day on, one day off, all that, the way the schedule is, they're not really practicing. So it's very, very hard to really develop that type of team camaraderie during the season. It's really hard. So it takes time. So that's why a lot of times guys work out during the summer. They work out to really try to build that chemistry to when the season comes, they're rolling. So not a lot of the teams that you're seeing today who are playing really, really well, especially a team like Boston, especially a team like, of course, the Cavs, also to the Warriors, right? A lot of those guys have been together for a long time. So they know exactly what they're running, responsibilities that they're supposed to have. And so that's why you see them really playing well, especially a team like OKC. All those guys that have been together a long time. I mean, they added over pieces like iHeart and Caruso, but those guys are just plug-in guys. They're not stars coming in to pretty much, shoot the ball a lot, right? Especially what Towns is doing. But I thought Towns, believe it or not, has made a seamless and smooth change here. I thought he's kind of come in and really adjusted really well. I like the fact that Towns has really come in with the mindset like, listen, man, like, this is Brunson's team. Like, this is not my team. Like, I'm not here to try to come in and try to be the man and do all this extra stuff. I'm here to just kind of add to what they already have rolling. Because it's not like Cat is coming in here and we stunk last year. We were number 2 seed in the East, right? So Cat understands that I'm just coming in here and just really adding in. And that's the beauty of what it is he's doing. He has the right mindset to come in and really adjust to the changes. Now, it's up to everybody else to adjust as well. And that's where you kind of saw, I thought, the first couple of games, them kind of struggle. Now, you're starting to see the offense roll. Now you're starting to see them coming together. Now you're starting to see certain things click. Guys are starting to know their position. Like I told you, it was going to take time. I've said this. I stressed this. It's really early. And honestly, now it's kind of still early because to me, I don't really think you should really make like a really good breakdown of what this team is going to be, possibly probably about 30 games. Like that's how I look at it. Now you kind of get an understanding of what the team is. So I still think it's early, but even that, you see how offensively now they're coming together. Like I said before, guys need to know there's certain pockets where they need to kind of come in, know their spots where they need to score, know what certain guys are going to do here, how do certain lineups look like, right? I mean, in regards to when they come in and say, okay, we're going to bring in Campaign, who I'm going to touch on in a minute, who also played well, right? When I bring in Deuce, when Precious Achiuwa comes back, right? What does those lineups look like? Who's the main guy to run the show there? Who's the guy going to be taking most of the shots? Right? So all those things you got to figure out. It doesn't just happen overnight, right? So that's what I'm seeing with this team, that you're seeing live and uncut, them pretty much come together as a unit. In these last 4 games, offensively, they've looked explosive. And the whole league is on notice. Everybody's noticing that they're clicking. And Towns looks like, shall I say, first team All-NBA? We know what Brunson's going to do, right? He's proven it. He proved it last year. And believe it or not, I felt he should have been first team All-NBA last year. I just didn't understand, how is it you finish top 5 in MVP voting and not first team NBA? Like, I don't understand, but he made second team. Cool, fine. But I could see both of those guys making first team All-NBA. Now, I know that won't happen, but I'm just saying, I could see one of the two. If both of them can't, I can see one of the two making first team All-NBA and the other one second team All-NBA. That's how well these guys are playing as a duo. Rondo, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live tonight. 138-122. Big time win for the boys in the Valley. The Suns. Jalen Brunson, 36 points and 10 assists. Because what they're doing offensively is just insane, man. It just is. And the beauty of it is you're starting to see other guys really take their game to the next level, right? You're starting to see guys like Josh Hart, right? Josh Hart, guys, if you guys didn't know, he's leading the team in field goal percentage. He's shooting 59.6% from the field. This is the highest in his career. I'm going to say it again. He's shooting 59.6 from the field. He's leading the team in field goal percentage. That's insane for a guy like Josh Hart. But that's because of the offense. That's because of Cat. And it's opening up so many different things for the team. So now you got a guy like Josh Hart playing out of his mind offensively better than he ever has in his whole career. But that's because of the addition of Cat. We knew who Brunson was going to be. Brunson's proven it. We already knew he was going to be. But what was Cat going to be? what was the impact that Cat was going to have on this offense? Look what it's done for a guy like Josh Hart. I'm going to go over his stats in a minute, but he was pretty much almost a triple-double last night. Again, right? So he's like a triple-double machine, but also taking high-quality shots. He's knocking down his three at a high clip. So he's playing extremely, extremely well offensively. We know what Josh Hart does, right? Swiss Army knife, we understand that. Tip spoke about it in the postgame. But now what he's doing is now he's knocking down the ball offensively. Like really shooting it really well. Like I said, 59.6% from the field. That's him. Now what about OG Anunoby? Look how also, too, worrying about Towns and worrying about Brunson, what that's done for OG Anunoby offensively. The cutting, knocking down the three ball. We already know what he is defensively. But the offense has taken his game to another level, and that's because of Brunson and Towns. Just Knicks, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live tonight. Big win from the boys, 138-122. The Big Cat, 34 big points. And so OG Anunoby has looked like, could we be possibly talking about him being third team All-NBA or something like that? Or what about this? Or what about possibly him being an all-star? What about that? What about OG Anunoby being an all-star in the East? And Knicks get three guys in there for the all-star game, as well as OG Anunoby's playing. So just all together, just look at that. And then also, too, just the talks about with Mikal Bridges and just how his shot and all that stuff. He's playing extremely, extremely well, guys. He's playing well, man. It's gonna take time for a guy like him on his level to pretty much say, okay, you know what? Let me fall back. Let me not take all the shots, even though I did it in, even though I did it in Brooklyn. Let me just kind of just go to the fourth or fifth option. That takes an adjustment to do. It does. And so you saw him gradually coming around. But guys, I told you, he's averaging 16 points this year, man. He's averaging 16 points. Shooting 48% from the field. Of course, his three ball's not knocking down. He's shooting maybe 30% from three. Okay, he'll come around. But my thing is that I know he'll come around because he's shown how good of a shooter he is. But one thing you cannot take away, that mid-range is money. Money. He's a great cutter. He's great in the passing lanes. I thought he started playing better defensively. He's starting to come around. Both of those guys. Him and OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby's been a beast defensively, but now Bridges is starting to come around. So now what you're seeing is everything clicking. But that's all because of what Towns and Brunson presents, the problems they present all together. And so now you say to yourself, okay, I got to pick my poison. But, I forgot about OG Anunoby. I forgot about Mikal Bridges. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Josh Hart. Now, a lot of people are going to say, who cares about Josh Hart? He's not this, he's not that. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is, because now what you have to do is you got to worry about him. You have to. So what this offense does, it makes you worry about everybody. Everybody. It's not one time that you kind of say, okay, I can fall back and I don't need to worry about this guy. I don't know about this guy and all this other stuff. No. Everybody's a threat. Everybody. I'm listening to all the ESPN guys now. Everyone's coming out just saying, hey, listen, man, look. I think the Knicks are probably the best offense in the league. I think they're top whatever, in the league, top five. There's nothing below a top five. Top five in the league. Now, yes, we have to get better defensively. Towns has mentioned that in the postgame. Josh Hart has mentioned that in the postgame. But I think with the addition of a couple of pieces, you'll start to see them get better defensively. Of course, the addition of Precious Achiuwa. Of course, the addition of Mitch. And once again, this is not a matter of, okay, let's get these guys in here and they're the saviors. No, it's not about them being saviors. It's just for them to add, it's just another piece to the Infinity Gauntlet, right? That's all it is. It's just another piece to the Infinity Gauntlet. That's it. To make us stronger. Now, does that mean we're going to be Top 5 team defensively in the league? I don't think so. But are we really asking for that? Or are we just asking for us to be maybe top 12 in the league, top 15? That's it. Because who's going to be able to score with us? Who? Let's listen to what Mikal Bridges had to say, man. Check him out.
Moving the ball, getting the right shots, and then getting stops, getting stops early. So it kind of gave us, more confidence off the end, and we was just sharing the ball. Everybody was pretty much scoring, and had a good rhythm.
How's this process been for you, adjusting and then figuring out where your spots are on the floor? Yeah. And then it seemed like that played out more tonight.
Yeah, it was tough in the beginning. Just trying to figure it out, especially getting Cat, and it was kind of late going to training camp. But it's been good, just every day. Understanding offense, trying to figure out where I can be at and try to play off everybody. So it's been good though as of late.
Something people forget about the Wild years. You guys started 8-8 that year. Yeah. Does that kind of experience help you in a situation like this where everything might not be clicking at the highest level right away?
Yeah, and I think just being in the league and understanding it's early, you know what I'm saying? Like if you want your main goal to be last team standing, it don't matter what's happening right in the beginning. You're learning, so people react a little bit, but that's how it goes sometimes, So just keep learning every day, try and get better every day, and try to take one game at a time.
How was it to see all your faces?
Look at the great points that he said. Look at the great points that he mentioned. Listen, this is what LV said. I said it's going to take time. He said it. And he even stated, like I stressed, he said, listen, man, we got Cat here late, man. So it was an adjustment. We had to adjust. We had to adjust exactly what Cat was going to be, what he was going to do, how he was going to play, all these different things. It was an adjustment. And then at the end, he asked him, he said, you went 8-8 when you were, I believe they went when he was with the Suns. I believe they were saying that he was like, listen, man, it's going to take time. You know what I mean? Like the season's long. You just started. So, you know what I mean? It's what you want to be in the end of the season. And that's the key. So all these games, even though they're playing against teams that aren't fully healthy, right? Of course, KD and Bradley Beal was out last night. A team that's at the bottom of the league and the Nets and the Wizards, right? They're not the best teams. To me, like I said to you before, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You play who's in front of you. And what happens is this is where you develop the camaraderie and the chemistry to be able to understand your spots where you should score, understand where Cat likes the ball, all these things I've stated before. And now you're seeing also, too, you're seeing the ascension of Brunson. Like I said before, you're seeing him unlock his other superpower, which is being a really, really good facilitator, which a lot of people felt he couldn't do. A lot of people thought he's a ball hog and he's this. Brunson's bouncing it too much. He's got everybody in the beginning was just saying Brunson. He's the problem. He's being a ball hog. And I told everybody, I said, you guys got to relax, man. You got to chill. Listen, it's just started. But he had to learn the team also. This is a big change to what we were last year. It's a big change, man. Huge change. We're a way different team than what we were last year. And actually, we're better. Way better than what we were last year. Now, I think, if we really want to be honest, I think a lot of it, I don't think people had any issue with the deal. You guys let me know. I don't think anybody had any issue with the Cat deal. I think the issue was losing DiVincenzo. That's what a lot of people were upset about. People didn't have no issue with Randall being gone. Edward Walker, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live tonight. Big win for the boys in the Valley. The Suns, 138-122. The Big Cat, 34 big points. So no one had an issue with the Cat for Randall. They had no issue with that. Some people did, but most people understood it. Nobody wanted to see DiVincenzo go. That was the issue. They wanted to keep DiVincenzo. BQ from BK, man. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. Big win for the boys, 138-122. Jalen Brunson, 36 big points. But then, of course, the whole thing of Cat being soft, right? Everyone was saying he's soft as tissue paper. He's this, he's that, right? So everyone had all these, issues with the trade. But, guys, if we want to be honest, we're better. We're a better team. We're better. And I'm not even speaking of, we're better a little bit. I think it's a huge gap to where we're better at. Now, of course, the defensive piece, we got to get better. Like, we understand that. We lost a lot. We're losing Iheart and also, too, losing Mitch, right? But Mitch is coming back. He's working his way back. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, too. So that changes things. But when you become that offensive, it's very hard to kind of meet in the middle and like your defense is going to be the same. That's why Boston is so good, because they didn't really skip a beat. They actually got better offensively. That's very hard to do. So that's why they're the best team in the East. But there is a chance we can beat them. I feel we can. We just got to build that camaraderie. The beautiful thing about Boston is that those guys have been building this for a long time. A lot of those guys were around for a long time together. Brown, of course, and Tatum together, right? So that took time to build. Those guys were at the kind of like knocking at the door of greatness for a minute. Eastern Conference Finals. They've been in the mix. They made it to the finals that one year, right? Knicks haven't gotten there. So it takes time. You got to go through the wars to know exactly who you are as a team. But in order for us to be uber explosive like what we are offensively, we had to give some things up, man. And we kind of lost a little bit of our toughness with Randall and with definitely with DiVincenzo. But look what we got in return, man. We got a guy right now that's possibly probably right now with Embiid's issues and Joker dealing with whatever he's dealing with personally, the best big in the league right now. The best big in the league. And I mean, that's just a fact. The numbers speak for itself. The guy is 26, I believe, in 11 or 12, shooting 50% from the field and from three, and almost 90% from the free throw line. I mean, this guy's putting up numbers that are like just, believe it or not, borderline like MVP numbers. This guy, and if the Knicks are really start tearing teams up and have the best team in the league, I would not be surprised if Cat gets MVP this year. If those numbers keep up. I would not be surprised, because what he's doing at 7 feet is, we got to really take a step back. This is like I don't even know what's even comparable to this for a big, right? So we had to pay to get, man. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, that's how I'm looking. I'm looking at the potential of what this team could be, because the offense is there. The offense is there, and I don't know if there's anybody else in the league that could really score with us. Period. And I think what's happening now is we're automatically, when the game starts, we're jumping on boys, jumping on teams. We did it against Washington. We did it against these cats last night. And to me, that's what you got to do, man. That's what you got to do when you're dealing with teams like this. You don't. Like, once again, I've stressed it before. I'm gonna say it again. You don't play with them. You hop on it and you kind of get, because the game was over by, like, I would say midway of the second quarter, because the Knicks were up by 20. We almost had 80 points in the first half. We scored 76 points in the first half. We almost had 80 points, man. So offense isn't going to be the issue at all. Let's hear from Tibbs, man. Let's see what Tibbs is talking about.
Playing off each other, each game you can see they're seeing things. They're reading the game extremely well. I think they're creating good spacing. They're cutting extremely well. And what that's doing is it's opening up the floor, and we're playing into space. And everyone's unselfish. So 30 assists, I think that's huge. And then, whatever, if we're being blitzed, everyone getting to the right spots at the right time, making the extra pass. I thought, we caused some turnovers and we got into the open floor, and I think those easy baskets helped us as well. And so, I thought the activity of OG again and Josh was, off the charts. Their steals and getting us into the open floor big time. And then, I thought Jalen's aggressiveness to start the game was big for us as well. And then Cat, and then Cam came in, gave us great minutes off the bench, and Mikhail was all over the place. And so, we had a lot of guys step up and play well. I thought Tyler gave us good minutes. Also, Jericho, his activity, big, You know, everyone's just doing their job, rebounding good, and they spread you out. You know, they're going to shoot a lot of threes, and you know, you got to fly around. And when you have a guy like Booker, it requires everyone making a second, third, fourth effort, and I thought we did that.
Great breakdown by Tibbs. Great breakdown. And if you notice in everything that he said, he named everybody. He named the whole crew and how everybody had an impact on this game. Like I said, 6 guys were in double figures. Of course, starting with Mikal Bridges, right? Mikal Bridges was 16 points, 5 assists. Sims, I thought, was great coming off the bench. 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 points. I thought he was solid also. Who I think is kind of like it's starting to become a little bit of an unsung heroes campaign, right? His production off the bench with Deuce being down, but even when Deuce was here, what he's been able to do. I'm going to discuss him a little bit more, but he had 12 points, 3 assists, and 1 steal. I thought he was fabulous also. OG Anunoby, another great night from him. You know, efficient night, 14 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, and also Josh Hart, right? Being Josh Hart, like I stated, right? He had 19 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals with Josh Hart. Altogether, we had 10 steals tonight. Once again, I think these defensive numbers are kind of a little inflated in a sense because I understand what's happening. But if you're watching a game like we're watching it, I think defensively we're solid. I think we are. I think it's going to get better in time. Of course, the rim protection and stuff like that, handling the penetration on top of also too, protecting the 3-point shot. But we're getting in the passing lane, we're getting steals, and we're taking full advantage of those steals as well. So, you saw in the highlights guys running down, getting alley-oop dunks, campaign, getting in the passing lane, all those things just being like just causing chaos up there with them steals. And so that's pretty much gets us out on a run like Tibbs said, and guys were able to finish. So like I said, he named the whole crew, man, the whole 8 guys that he played. And I thought it was just a team effort. Now, the reason why I said I'm going to get to campaign and why I think he's an unsung hero, because it's really, really hard to find a guy who just understands his role. Like, he's okay with coming off the bench, being a spark plug, being, having high intensity, not afraid to shoot the rock, like all those great things, and be okay with coming off the bench and just sitting down, not complaining about, getting more points or whatever, just whatever issues that come with a guy that comes off the bench and sees that his numbers are dwindling or his time's not there, whatever. He's okay with whatever the coach needs him to do, he'll do. And when he gets in the game, you don't have to worry about him not giving good energy. You don't have to worry about him making a bad play. Or even if he does make a bad play, he might come back and make up for it. He's always in it, always in the mix. And the one thing I love about that is that those are guys that, like, once again, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, their mentality, their way of doing things is infectious to the whole team. Because then it like brings up the team, especially when he comes in. If the team is down, one thing you're not going to have to worry about is campaign being down when he gets in the game. He's going to lift all the spirits and get guys back rolling. And then that's the key to kind of what that second unit can be. It was basically in a sense what IQ did. When IQ would come in, he would come in full speed. Like IQ wouldn't come in, try to figure out the game. He would go in and attack the game. And that's what campaign does. He comes in, he attacks the game. Every time he gets the ball, he's going up full speed, pushing the ball up, getting after it defensively, getting in the passing lanes. He's very verbal out there. He makes really good decisions with the rock, right? I don't see him making like bad passes or anything like that. He's really good with that floater game. Altogether, he's the perfect backup, man. And I just love what he's doing with that second unit. And the reason why I say he's an unsung hero is because that's been the biggest thing with the Knicks, right? The offense, we understand, is probably the best offense in the league. The best starting 5, all those things, right? But the biggest concern was, what is that bench unit going to look like? We lost a lot in losing DiVincenzo. Mitch is hurt. Of course, Precious Achiuwa is down now, right? So now it's like, okay, well, what is that bench going to do? With Landry Shamet, right? So now you see a guy like that come in. He's providing that energy. He's providing that stability to that second unit. And so now it's not a rush to bring Brunson back in. It's not a rush to maybe bring in a guy like Bridges or OG, because he's stabilizing that second unit. And believe it or not, he's helping out Sims, because Sims is also playing better as well. I ran down his numbers, right? He had 6 boards tonight, which is great, almost 10 rebounds, right? He had 2 assists, And I believe he had 4 points. Right? So Campaign got that steal in the one play, went down, hit that bounce pass to Sims. Sims came through with the rim rocker, right? So he's keeping the second unit at a float. And that's beautiful because then that's great for a guy like Brunson because he can sit over there and chill, especially when Deuce comes back. I'm going to talk about that also too. Now, you don't feel like I have to rush those guys back out. And also, too, guys, the minutes have been great. The only person that played 40 minutes exactly was Bridges. I mean, Josh Hart was right underneath it, right? He played 39. But, Towns, I believe, played 35. I think OG Anunoby played 34, I believe. And Brunson played 37, right? So guys are keeping their minutes down. But that's because of the production from the bench. Guys are able to come in and kind of spare guys to where they're able to play a certain amount and kind of don't get too tired because I didn't see the team getting tired at all tonight. At all. And it's been like that for the last couple of games too. And so you got to love what that second unit is doing, but I think the second unit is spearheaded by Campaign. Not that he's the best player. No, I believe Deuce is. But Campaign comes in with the energy. He comes through with the spark. And he comes through to run the show to where a guy like Deuce is able to float and produce in the way that he likes to, right? Deuce is a great shooter, so that's what we love to see from Deuce. Well, all in all, man, Campaign is playing really, 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 really well, right? So that second unit is key. And, of course, we're going to get a couple of guys back, Precious Achiuwa, of course. We still got to see what the whole deal with Shamet is going to be. But also, too, we got to see what's going on with Mitch because the reports were that Mitch would travel with the team. So Mitch was out there chilling. He's doing on-court things. I don't know if he's running yet, but I know he's traveling with the team. So that means he's close. December is around the corner. They didn't say December or January for Mitch's return. I think more January. I don't think December. So I'm not going to get too excited. But it's very promising and a good sign that he traveled with the team and he's doing some exercises and he's kind of in the flow of what's going on, and I think that's great. Also, too, they said that Deuce should return on this road trip. So I don't know which game, but Tibbs did state that Deuce will return on this road trip. And also, too, Precious Achiuwa is starting on-court activities. So we're starting to get back our reinforcements, guys. We're starting to get back our reinforcements. Of course, we got to see exactly what's going to happen with Shamet. But if you think about it, Deuce, Precious Achiuwa, Mitch, Campaign, right? Those are the guys that's going to play. If Shamet comes back, I don't know if Shamet's going to play over Campaign. I don't know. We got to see exactly what that shoulder looks like. But the way Campaign has been playing, I wouldn't play Shamet over him. I like those 4 guys right there, especially if Mitch comes back in January, like I stated. And Precious Achiuwa is here. I love those 4 coming off the bench. So our reinforcements are coming back. So that'll be good. That'll be good. Of course, everyone's been chomping at the bit to see the whole Mitch and Cat combination, right? Once again, I don't think they're going to start together. I think it's going to be certain situations in certain games, especially against teams that have really good bigs like Cleveland and, of course, Orlando, where I could see those guys being 2 of those guys on the court together at the same time. I could see that. So it's good to see that those guys are slowly starting to come back. We're starting to get back our reinforcements, right? All right, so let's take a look here at the stats. Okay, so the Knicks altogether shot 58% from the field, right? Then you had Phoenix, they shot 49% from the field, but look what the Knicks did again on the rebounding end. They had 41 rebounds. The Phoenix Suns had 34, but look at the assists again. The Knicks had over 30 assists. That's the first time since 1994. 3 straight games over 3 assists. So they're basically sharing the ball, playing really, really great as a team. Also, too, look what they're shooting from 3, guys. 48.7% from 3, 19 for 39. The Suns shot 38%. They were 19 for 50. But look at what's shooting from the stripe. 90.5%, 19 for 21 from the field, from the stripe. Phoenix Suns went 76%, 13 for 17. That's the ball game right there, guys. That's the ball game. Mr. Blanks, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with the LV Live tonight. Big win for the boys, 138 to 122. But look at that. Look at the offensive numbers, man. Look at what we're doing. So, I mean, look, 58% from the field, 48% from three. I mean, we're looking like an offensive juggernaut, period. And once again, this is what everyone was afraid of when they made that deal for Cat. So that's why automatically everybody was saying, like, yo, the Knicks are probably going to be the favorites to win. I can see them challenging Boston in the East. That's what all the talks was, right? And everyone was saying slow down. And I want everybody in here to be honest. When we saw what happened in Boston, everybody jumped off the cliff. They said, no way. No way. Where's BKLA, man? What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. Salute to you, sir. Long time no see. Hope all is well. Big win for the boys, 138-122 in the Valley of the Suns. Jalen Brunson, 36 points and 10 assists. So we got to be honest. When what happened in Boston happened, everyone said, oh, man, we need to pump our brakes on the Knicks. But what they're doing right now offensively is what everybody said could be a possibility. And it's reality now. Not a possibility, it's reality. Because this is what we're doing offensively. Shooting 58% from the field and 48% from three. We're basically shooting cat numbers. We're basically shooting 50, 50, 90. Look what's happening. And it's looking really like 60%. We're rounding up here, right? Let's do your math correctly. 60% from the field, 50% from three-point line, and 90% from the stripe. The whole team is shooting like Cat. See, the Cat's basically spilling over into the rest of the team with the efficiency piece. If we keep this up, do you know how dangerous we'll be for the league? Across the board with everybody. Across the board. I don't care who it is. Boston included. I don't care who it is. And this is why we made this deal. This is why we made the deal to bring Cat, because this is what they saw. And once again, man, listen, we got to give Leon his flowers, man, because he saw it before everybody. This is what they saw when they made that deal. This is what they wanted. They wanted a 5-out type of feel and wanted an explosive offense, a la very similar to, of course, that def lineup that the Warriors had when they had KD over there. Right? So this is what they were looking for. They wanted to spread out, let Brunson run at the top of the key, let him do him, and this is what we could be. You got to love it, man. You got to love it, and you got to salute Leon on this because he saw it way before we all did. So I thought it was great to see last night. It's the start of the game last night, right? I thought it was. Of course, people are going to say Brunson. I think it was this guy, right? And the reason why I said it, 34 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 12 for 19 from the field, 7 for 8 from the stripe. Brunson got it started, but this guy closed it out. Brunson was the man in the first half, 23 points, 7 assists, but this guy closed it out in the second half, man. He's just been a matchup nightmare for every big. Every big. Nurkic couldn't do nothing with him. He's stepping back. You saw the 1-3 he had where he dribbled up, then he took a step back. He's looking like a point guard out there at 7 feet. How do these bigs, how do you guard that, man? And then it forces them to put a guy like Royce O'Neal on him. That's what they started out with on ball. They started Royce O'Neal out on Cat because they knew Nurkic couldn't do nothing with him. And he was going to start abusing him. So this is what happens because he's such a mismatch nightmare for a big. Now, of course, Brunson got the party started. He did. And like I said earlier, I thought Brunson was going to go nuclear the way he was shooting. But this guy closed the show, man. He closed the show. He's playing, shall I say it, MVP type of levels? MVP. Yeah, I said it. And could we possibly be looking at the best duo in the NBA with these two guys? All right, guys. So like I said, I was going to talk about this, man. Let's take a look at the offensive rating now. This is as of today. As of today, we're second in the league in offensive rating at 123.0. We're 21st in the league in defensive rating. Before, we were still 21st. We were at 16.7. Now we're at 16.4. So a slight change. Not really a change, but we'll take it. Right now, we are net rating. We are 6th in the league at 6.7. Before we were 10th. Now we are 6th in the league. Field goal percentage, we are 2nd in the league at 50.5% a game. And our three-point percentage in the league is at 39.5% in the league. So we're shooting 50% from the field and almost 40% from three. Second in offensive rating and 6th in net rating. I mean, listen, man, this is guys, let me ask you, have we ever seen a Knicks offense like this? Ever? Now listen, I'm going back. You know, some people that go back further than me. I'm going back to the Patrick Ewing era. I'm even going back. I mean, I was a young pup, man. I mean, I saw Bernard play a little bit. That's where I found my love watching the games with my pops. Watching Trent Tucker and those guys. I was a young pup, man, but I was watching the game with my pops. That's where I fell in love with it. But really, is when I saw Ewing, Starks, Mason, and the crew. That's when I really kind of, stamped my flag. You know what I mean? That this is my team, right? So even that team, as great as they were, because they were great, they were not having offensive numbers like this. Not even close. Not even close. It was a different game, different time. Yes, I understand that. But still, man. And back in them times, remember, I'm talking maybe early 80s, they were Showtime, they were scoring like 130 points, 120 points. So they was running the scores up. Showtime Lakers and all that stuff. So they were scoring high. The Knicks were never known for that. And those 90s teams, that to me was probably the best teams since those teams in the 70s, were not scoring like this, man. At all. And I love Pat. I'm a huge Ewing fan. And I'm not jumping out the window saying Cat is better than Pat. We're not doing that. He's not better than Ewing. I'm not saying that. He needs time. But what I'm saying is, offensively wise, skill wise, Pat wasn't shooting like this, man. This kid is different, man. 50% from the field and 50% from three, 90% from the line. Now, yes, he's the reason why I give Pat the edge because he wasn't a defensive presence that Pat was. But what I'm saying is, this kid, man, offensively, is different. Different. You know what I'm saying? So we're in a beautiful place offensively. So I'm just being honest with you guys, man. I'm being honest. I have not seen anything like this. Offensively. We've had some good offensive teams, but not like this, man. Not like this. Not where all five guys are dangerous. Are dangerous in all aspects. I mean, you got to understand, Josh Hart is shooting 59.6% from the field. I'm going to say it again. Josh Hart is shooting 59.6% from the field. He's leading the team. This is the highest he's ever shot in his whole career. That's because he's allowed to do so much else because everybody is so worried about Brunson and Cat. And that's why those like Tip said, that's why those cutting lanes are open. That's why all those things are open because of what the pressure that Brunson and Cat put on everybody. So you got to love what's happening because it's affecting the whole team. That's why OG Anunoby's numbers are up. That's why Bridges is cutting through the Baja, hitting those 15-foot jump shots. Right? So and Josh Hart is playing the way he's playing. The offense is opening up for everybody, man. And that's because of those two guys. So that's why you're seeing the offensive ratings what they are. And I don't think it's going to change, guys. I don't think it's going to slow down. I think we're going to be top 5 in the league for the whole season. I think that's exactly what it's going to be. Let me get in chat here, man. I appreciate everybody coming through rocking with LV Live. I know it's a day late, man. It was late last night, man. Now I was busy today running around, running errands. So I apologize, man, for everybody me coming on a little later today. So Big Chaz says, if you miss against the Knicks will make you pay. Agreed. And that's the thing, man. That's the thing with this offense. That's the thing with this offense. And that's why I love the games that they play now, like, even against this weaker competition, because this is where you kind of get your flow, Big Taz. This is where you kind of really find out the things you can do and the things you can't do, the things that work, the things that don't work. And also, too, it helps Tibbs, like I said it before on my other show, it helps Tibbs get a better understanding of who guys are and what lineups can work or not. And I love it because it's in season. And so through that, you're able to really kind of see exactly what you have, try out new things, and then, believe it or not, you start rolling. The chemistry starts coming, and now everybody starts to understand who they are and what their roles are. And then you start building that camaraderie. Unconsciously, you're building that camaraderie. Coach says, Cat is a great teammate. No, he is, man. He is. And the reason why I'm glad you said that, Coach, is because he's coming seamlessly, man, and kind of just taking an approach that, man, I'm just here to really just to, link up with the team and really kind of find where I fit in, right? Because this is not my team. This is Cap's team. And I love that he said that. I love that he stressed that this is Brunson's team because he understands, like, what Brunson's done these last 2 seasons, man, who he is, what he is to the city, man. He's the man, period. But he understands that having a weapon like, Cat takes this team to the next level. So that's why you're seeing Brunson's assist numbers rise up. Because now he's trusting guys and understanding that when people are worried about Cat, you have OG Anunoby cutting, you have Josh Hart cutting, you have Bridges cutting, and that leaves the lane open for a lot of great opportunities offensively. Coach says, I have the feeling Bridges is going to have a blow up. Yo, that's what I'm saying. Listen, I think he's playing well, Coach. I think he's playing well. Just Nick said, LV, man, do you think the Knicks can win in the in-season tournament? I definitely think they can. Absolutely. I think the Knicks have it all, man. I think they have the goods to not just win in the in-season tournament. I think they have the goods to go all the way. Now, will they go all the way? I could see them tripping up in the Eastern Conference Finals. I could see that. But I think they're going to push a lot of teams to the brink, including Boston. Coach says, but Cat was soft, remember? Listen, agreed. And here's the thing, Coach. I'm not going to sit back and act like I said it too, man. I said it too. LV, listen, I told you. I said, listen, man, I had to fall back on that. And I'll be honest with you, Coach. He's way better than what I thought. Way better. He's way better, man. He's better than advertised. Better than advertised. Edward Walker said, I was wrong about Cat. He is tough and got skills. Agreed, Edward Walker. Me too, man. Me too. You know what I mean? I can admit when I was wrong, man. And I was wrong about him. He's way better, man. He's way better than what I ever thought. And I said this last show, and I'm going to say it again. I think he's leaps and bounds better than Randall. I don't even think it's close. I don't even think him and Randall are in the same stratosphere, man. In the same stratosphere. Not even close. Not even close. I don't think they're in the same galaxy, man. He's way better than Randall. Edward Walker says, in order for the Knicks to beat the Cavs in Boston, Mikal must take his game to the next level. Agreed. And I think they will. But Edward Walker, not the Cavs, man. I'm not worried about the Cavs. I'm not worried about them at all. At all. They're rolling right now, and that's cool. But I don't look at them and I'm afraid. We've been whipping on them for the last couple of years, man. I'm not worried about them. Especially when Mitch comes back. Mitch scares all them cats. So I'm not worried about that. All that stuff they doing in that Baja, Mitch come up in there, he gonna shut all that down. So I'm not worried about them like that. I'm not. And Spider Mitchell has shown that he ain't, when he go against Brunson, Brunson always eats his food. So I'm not even worried about that. Brunson was eating his food when he was in Dallas. And Spider was in Utah. So I'm not worried about Cleveland like that. Boston, yes. Defending champs, we got to worry about. Edward Walker says, will the Knicks become a top 10 defense in the NBA? I don't know, man. I don't know. You got to give a little bit when you have such an offensive team like this, because Brunson and Cat aren't the defensive stalwarts that, especially Ihart was, right? Cat is not that defensively. He's not. But offensively, Ihart's not even in the same galaxy as Cat. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not even close. So you're going to give up a little bit to get Edward Walker. If we can get them to where they can be like top 15, then we're good. Because offensively, we're top 2 in the league, man. There's not going to be anybody who can really stop us. Edward Walker says Cam is going to be great in the playoffs. Agreed. I think he's going to have a couple of big games in the playoffs. Ed Walker. I think he's going to play big in the playoffs because he's been there before. Remember, he went to the finals with the Suns. So he's played in big moments, right? So that's why when a kid comes in, you don't see him rattle. Like, he doesn't look. Once again, I've said it before, this is the heaviest jersey to wear in this league, man. That jersey is heavy, man. It's a lot of pressure that comes when you get up there on that court and you feel them high beams on you. And it feels like hot lava. And you're looking at Celebrity Row and you're seeing all the top celebrities on a Tuesday night in February. You know, these young boys, they're like, yo, look at Ice Spice. Look at all these young girls looking, and these guys lose their mind. You see all them girls on the sideline. You see Fat Joe. You see everybody. You go crazy. Then you start missing shots, right? That guy doesn't have that problem, man. He's a pro. He comes in and he's been playing great since he's hit the ground running. And so that's why you got to love a guy like him, and I think he's going to be great for us. Big Taz says, when Mitch comes back, the Cavs will go right back to being who they really are. Big Taz, you know what I'm saying? Big Taz, a pillar here in the LV Live show, said exactly what I was saying, man. We ain't worried about the Cavs, man. I ain't worried about them. Mitch get up and had them boys shaking in their boots, man. Nobody want to go down in that Baja. They scared to death. Mitch had them boys shook. So I'm not even worried about the Cavs like that. I'm really not. They're a good team. You never take any team lightly. I understand that. But am I worried about them like I'm worried about Boston? Boston, I'm worried about. And I'm also worried about a sneaky team. I'm worried about Orlando, man. I think Orlando is really good. People aren't really paying attention. I think they're sneaky good, man. You know what I'm saying? So you got to watch out for them. Mr. Blanks, the Knicks are starting to click at the right time. Last night, the team was efficient and hitting their shots. Agreed, sir. Agreed. Coach says, I think we get back to the defense we had last year when Mitch gets back. OG was able to go crazy knowing iHeart was there. Agreed. Big Wiz, do you think Tibbs should have rested Deuce with his knee inflammation first to happen instead of playing him 26 minutes? You know what's ill? I said this before on my show, Wiz. I was in the Garden that night when he hurt his knee against the Pacers. I was there that night. And I didn't, when he fell, I said, yo, what happened to Deuce, man? I said, yo, I don't look right. And with the knee inflammations, you got to be careful with that, man. You got to make sure it ain't nothing. And they're the Knicks, man. So I'm sure he's done MRIs and I'm sure he's done all that to kind of see and make sure it's nothing crazy. So maybe it came back, everything is good. But they're talking about he's coming back, Wiz, you know what I'm saying, during the road trip. So maybe that's why he's resting him, kind of making sure the swelling goes down and see exactly where he's at. But the knee ain't nothing to play with, man, at all. So you got to be careful of that. Coach says he and Bridges plus Deuce will be able to get back to that then. Yeah, agreed. Mr. Blank says, with Cat, we don't have to be so dependent on Jalen Brunson, and that is what makes the Knicks dangerous, in my opinion. Agreed, sir. Agreed. That's why they brought him, man. That's why they got him here. Because listen, man, he's such a threat, man. He's such a threat. And he's a mismatch nightmare for them fives. So that's why people say, no, when Mitch comes back, no. He's here to play the five. This is why they have him here. Because offensively, they want to be doing this to teams. Now, of course, certain situations in the game, I can see him and Mitch playing together, but Mitch will not be starting the five. He's coming off the bench. Mr. Blank said Josh Hart is shooting like it's his contract year. Agreed. Coach says, plus, he understands the financial sacrifice he made to get him here and others. Agreed, man. Agreed. Now, man, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. Big win for them boys, 138-122. Jalen Brunson, 36 big points. Big Taz says, I was wrong about Cat. I remember when Coach will put in the chat that Knicks should get Towns, and I thought that was the biggest joke. But now who's laughing? Agreed. Coach, that's what, listen, I said, listen. Coach, you remember, Coach, I gave you your flowers, and I let it be known. I said, yo, man, he's been calling for this for years. And we all laughed at him, including LV. He was the biggest joke in the chat. Now he's laughing. Now he's doing all the laughing. We got to salute Coach on that, man. We got to salute him for that. Nammer says we need to we still to stop 3-point shootings. 3-point we still need to stop, I'm assuming. 3-point shooters who are hot. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough to do, Nammer, because this is the league, man. Let me tell you something. I was watching Philly, man. Philly's oh man, that's a circus over there, man. What's going on over there? But I was watching the game before I watched the Knicks game last night. I just wanted to see exactly what's going on in Philly. I just watched the game, and Memphis didn't even have John Morant playing. They had John Morant wasn't playing, and Marcus Smart. They just had Jaren Jackson and Desmond Bane, right? And they had a bunch of like regular guys out there, regular dudes. And they were just knocking down threes, man. These are regular guys. These aren't like guys that are like, the sixth man. Like, these are regular dudes at the end of the bench. Like, these are guys. And so I'm saying that to say, Nammer, is that the league is tough, man. There's so many nice people in the league. I mean, nice. The guy at the end of the bench could give you 30. Like, it's no joke. In the way it's like, everything is spread out in the league. You can't really, you could defend, but not really to the level that you're used to. It leaves a lot of shooters open, and a lot of these guys are really, 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 really skilled, really, really skilled. And the 3-pointer is so hard to defend. It's a big part of the game now, and everybody can shoot it. And so it's tough. It's really, really tough to do. I mean, it's something they have to get better with. I do agree, but it's tough. Coach says, we all on the same team as far as this goes. Yeah, agree. Listen to Coach, man. You've been screaming for it, man. He's way better than what I thought. Way better, man. Way better. And I was arguing. You remember I was arguing. I said, nah, he's not better than Randall. No, he's way better than Randall. He's way better than Randall. Way better. I'm starting to think the Knicks are done trading. Yeah, man. I don't, because you know what it is, big Coach? Like, what other moves are they going to make? Who else are they going to trade? Like, what else are they going to do? Are they going to play? They're not going to trade away Precious Achiuwa. They're not going to do that. Why would they do that? He's a key piece to what it is that they want to do. Okay, let me say this. I only see that happening if the Knicks are able to get like a really, really good player and the team wants nothing for this guy. Like, they just want to get rid of him. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only thing I can see, right? Like, just, I don't know. What's the kid out of Portland? What's the kid out of Portland? Jaren Grant or something like that, right? He's a really good wing. They paid a lot of money for him. What if they just say, listen, man, we'll take your second round pick in 2030 for him, I don't know, and give us, I don't know, Tyler Kolek or whatever. Like, you understand what I'm saying? I'm just throwing out stuff. Like, I'm trying to make it up, but you know what I'm saying? Like, basically something for nothing. Like, if you can get that, then cool. But no team is going to do that. Everybody's going to want to, they're going to want to get something in return. So, and the Knicks don't really have much to give because of all the deals they made. So, I do think they're kind of done. Coaches, I think it's all Walt Perriman's show going forward outside of the Brock picking up the vets, right? That we get a chip, right? Agreed. Philly's a dumpster. Yeah, that's a dumpster fire, man. I don't know what's going on over there, man. Paul George got hurt again, but they said this though. They said that, the big thing is with injuries. I think Embiid is hurt, man. I think he's trying to, but this is just wear and tear on his body, man. You know, that's what happens with bigs like that. That guys, they get hurt, like they got really, but he's had injury problems since he came into the league. Trust the process started with them and him because he was hurt and he was always hurt. You remember? Then he started really getting busy. And then it was like, okay, this is what we knew he was going to be. And then he's hurt again. Then he's hurt again. And now they're trying to get it back. You see even guys like Maxey calling him out, like whatever the reports were. I mean, I don't know how true it is. You know, we're not in the locker room, man, so we don't know. But what I'm saying is that they just don't look right at all. And I don't know what's going on with Paul George. He hurt his knee again. Like, they just gave him all that money. Like, and Elvie said it here. Remember, I said I'm not touching Paul George. I said that. I said I'm not touching him, man. I'm not touching him. I know no more old stars. Right? And this is why you see him, man. Paul George looks like a shell of himself, man. He's getting old. And Embiid is the dumpster juice. Yeah, man. He's causing a lot of problems out there, man. He's causing a lot of problems out there with that superstar treatment and all that other stuff. Like he's just causing a lot of issues, man. A lot of issues. I think he's finished. I'm not going to say they trade him because remember, he just signed that extension. I think, in September. Right? So I don't know, man. It's just really, really bad. You know what I mean? Because they're 2-12 right now. How are they going to get everything back? I mean, they look bad. I watched the game last night. They look bad. They just look out of sorts. Drummond looks old. He looks like he's overweight, eating a whole bunch of oxtails and stuff like that. He's out there eating Philly cheesesteaks. He looks bad. He looks old. Can't even move. Kyle Lowry looks like, they just got a whole bunch of old dudes over there, man. So I don't know. That Maxey's dealing with a hamstring. You know what I'm saying? So that's another ill thing. You know, them hamstrings are no joke. He came back last night, but he didn't look like Maxey at all. No burst, no nothing. Now it says Booker was on fire and could have hurt us if he's not controlled. Agreed. He did hurt us. He had 33 last night. He's a tough check though, Nairn. He's tough, man. He's tough. A couple of them shots he was hitting they was hitting the bottom of the net, man. They didn't even touch the rim. He's just that good offensively, man. He's just that good. So when KD comes back and Beal come back, they're going to be a tough out. They are. Do I think they could beat the Knicks? No. They don't have enough firepower. And then, defensively, they're going to have problems because the Knicks, 1 through 5 is just a lot to deal with. A lot to deal with. Right? Because Brunson is Brunson, man. They have nobody for Brunson. Nobody. So you could put KD on Cat, but Cat going to get his. He going to get his against KD. So when you put OG Anunoby on KD, right? You can put Bridges. You put OG Anunoby. You can put Bridges on, of course, Booker, right? So it's just matchups, right? So I think it'll be a good game, but I think the Knicks will still beat them, man. So, but Booker's tough, man. He's really, really tough. He's hard. Guys like that, now you can't contain those guys. They're gonna get theirs. He's too good of a player, like, you know what I mean. So hence why he was in conversation to come to the Knicks because of how good he is. He's really, really that good. Big Taz says, not that I care about the Sixer issues, but Embiid needs to understand that when the season starts, it's season's all over. Now you're left off from the playoffs. You know what's ill, man? I listen, man. I just think this is what happens to aging stars, man, who are dealing with injuries. Period. And for bigs like him, and the biggest thing with him too, right? He's different than Cat because you see Cat's like got a big upper body, but he's got his like small legs, like he's got skinny legs. So his lower frame is not like kind of out of shape, right? So he's able to run around and kind of do. He's got like a lower frame, like kind of like KD. Like, those guys are kind of slim. So Embiid's like Shaq, like he's big and kind of husky. Like, there's been reports that he's gotten up and ballooned up to like 300 pounds sometimes, right? So that's a lot on your joints. It's a lot. And so that's why he's had like lower leg issues. You know what I'm saying? Like just, and then other dynamics too is I don't even know how is it he played in the Olympics and then he's come back and now he's hurt. Like, so that tells me I don't know if he was even supposed to play in the Olympics. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. Just the whole thing just sounds bizarre. But that's why I said it's like a circus over there. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Edward Walker says Embiid is cooked. Yeah, he is, man. I think he is. Now they're gonna play him, but man. Hey, man, Big Perk said something I thought was great last year. I remember he said they should sit Embiid for the whole year, man. They should sit him and let him just heal up. And even now they should do exactly what we're doing with Mitch and just sit him. Let him heal up, man, until he's ready to come back. Don't rush him back. Like fans rushing him to come back because of whatever. Because he looks bad, man. He had like 30-something yesterday, I believe. But look who was guarding him, man. He had a bunch of bums guarding him. So, yeah, you should get that. Jaren Jackson started guarding him towards the end, but I'm just saying he didn't look good. Like, I know he has no lift, man. No lift at all. None. So, yeah, man, I think he's done. Everyone says not a Nets fan, but what happened to Simmons? Ben Simmons. Where did his skills go? Wow. You know what's ill, man? Yo, I'm gonna say this, right? Do you remember when he was in Philly and he was going through all them problems, man? It was like mental issues or something. Jay Supreme, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. Big one for the boys, 138 to 122. The Big Cat, 34 big points. Ed Walker, remember when he was in Philly? Remember he started like going through all them issues because that's where he was at. That's where he was getting busy. He was getting busy in Philly, man. He was there first. Remember? And he was an all-star and he was on his way. And then out of nowhere, man, it just clicked. Kind of like the same thing that happened to what's the kid, everybody? What's the kid that was with the Magic? That was a top pick, right? He's from like Maryland or something like that. I got his name, and I can't remember his name. It's right there at the tip of my tongue. Who's the kid that came out? He's a top pick, and then he just forgot how to play basketball. You see, he was dealing with a whole bunch of mental stuff. What's the kid's name? Mark something. What's the kid's name? Damn. What's his name, man? It's not Marcus. It's something. It's somebody in the chat. Please let LV know, man. I got my phone on me. Let me see. Let me look this kid up, man. See if anybody in the chat can figure out his name. I'm trying to find out his name right now, man. What's the kid's name, man? I'm trying to remember. Orlando. He was with Orlando Magic. Guard. Let me see. What's the kid's name, man? Elvis trying to figure it out, man. I'm trying to get my story's got to make sense. That's what I'm trying to figure it out. There we go. Big Taz was coming through in the clutch. Unlike Judge, right? Unlike Judge. Markelle Fultz. Fultz was legit. He was a really good ball player. Really good. But then he got in the league, man, and he just started playing well, and he just forgot how to play basketball. Like, mentally, he just didn't have, like, and that's the same thing that happened to Ben Simmons. Just mentally, he just I don't know, man. He just forgot how to make a layup. You're like, yo, my man, what's going on? That's why, once again, I stress this all the time, right? Even when we talk about the DiVincenzo piece, right? These guys are still people, man. These guys are still people. I played with a lot of pros, man, when I was coming up in high school. Played with a lot of guys that went to the league, man. You know what I'm saying? I played against them, man. You know what I'm saying? I had some of them on my team. Like, I played, like, these guys went to the league. You know what I'm saying? So, you're around, these guys are regular dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? So, personally, you don't know what's going on with these guys, what they're dealing with, the pressures that come with coming into the league. Khalid Pasha, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live. Pick one for the boys, 138 to 122. And remember also, too, like, remember he got injured or something like that? Like, it was a lot of different things that was going on with him. And he just was struggling to get his mind right. You know what I mean? He was struggling. Earl Garris, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live. Big win for them boys in the Valley of the Suns, 138 to 122. And so he just wasn't the same guy. You know what I'm saying? Mentally. And that really impacted him huge. And he just wasn't the same after that. Just wasn't the same and couldn't get back, right? And Simmons was the same way. I thought, yo, keep it a buck. I thought Simmons was going to be the next thing, man. Next thing, he's big. He's 6'10". He's like nice with it, man. Nice with it. And I thought, like, yo, he was going to be the next. And then after he left Philly, man, I don't know. He just remember he had to go to mental health counseling and stuff, man. I was like, dang, man. You never know what's going on with people, man. You know what I'm saying? So folks had that shoulder injury, right? Like I said, it messed up his jump shot and killed his confidence. That's what I'm saying. I remember that. He got hurt and he just, but you know what's ill? Khaled, what's ill is this, right? Guys get hurt all the time. You know what I'm saying? They get hurt all the time. They're not sure about certain things. But for your game to just totally take a change, like you don't even know how to do nothing anymore. And they said like mentally he had a hard time dealing with, you know, a lot of different stuff, man. He just was not the same guy. Like he just I don't know, he fell apart, man, mentally. And you know, that's a lot of pressure too, guys. Remember, listen, you're getting all this money to play hoops, and you're probably responsible for a lot of people, right? And so you got to think what type of pressures that's on a young guy. These guys aren't like 30 years old. These guys are like 19, 20 when they come into the league. So you got to think of all the type of pressures. Think of when you guys were 19 to 20. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even close to where I am right now, 19 to 20 years old. I was in school. Like I was not. I still 19, 20, keep it a buck. I still had the mindset like I was like 18. Like I wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't. So imagine that you got millions of dollars in the bank. And everybody says, oh, if it was me. Nah, you don't know, B. You don't know if it was you, what you would do. You know what I'm saying? You don't know at that age. Then you got people, you know, in your pocket, friends, family, your girl, all this other stuff. And you playing like trash every night. Sometimes you don't play something. Because now it's a business. This ain't AAU or rec league or you know, you're the best team in high school or college. You're not. That changes dudes, man. Some dudes can't cut it. You know what I'm saying? They fold up like tissue paper, man. That's just what it is. Khaled says Ben Simmons is all mental, right? He was scared to shoot even when he was on an all-star. He has been right. Yeah, man. He just changed, man. He just changed. It's a real thing, man. It's a real thing. I don't want people to dismiss it like it's not. It's a real, you see it. Because you're like, yo, how does guy just, you know, how does he just forget how to play basketball? How does he forget how to make a layup or shoot and all this other stuff? How does that happen? Right? So it's a real thing, man. It's a real thing. But listen, guys, that's my show. Listen, I appreciate everybody coming through rocking with me tonight, man. Listen, I came through late. I apologize. But listen, I still appreciate everybody coming through rocking with me tonight. Listen, please subscribe to the channel. Also, too, hit that like, share button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. People are also, too, if it's your first time coming through, you're watching us on replay, please subscribe to the channel. And also, too, please leave comments because I do respond to comments. All right? But I appreciate everybody coming through rocking with me. Listen, I will be back to go over the Utah Jazz game on Saturday. So please come through and check that out. My post-game show on the Utah Jazz, so we can hopefully go to five in a row, kind of get this, you know, West Coast trip rocking and rolling, man. So hopefully we can keep the ball rolling positively, offensively, defensively, everything. All right, but listen, that's my show. I'm LV Live, and I'm out of here, people. Peace.